do the light, a spooky light for Haunted Mansion, and we'll also do. No, we'll save the fog. We'll just do the light coming out of your spooky. Well, I guess we could do the fog today too. And then the landscape we'll save for another time. I'll do that maybe tomorrow on a separate video. Okay, so with your spooky light, you gotta have a spooky light coming out of your house. The door, the window, preferably the window. I mean, the door could look cool. It just depends. This guy's light isn't bright enough, so it kind of like loses the spookiness. You can do it a number of ways. So you want to kind of have it coming out of your boarded up window. So to do your spooky light, let's go to let's see. We can do it on this one, I suppose. Let me see if I can find another file here to work on. Haunted house. Alright, I should have this open beforehand, so excuse me. See if I can find it real quick. Alright, haunted house. Those will do. Alright, so haunted house. Sample anime. Alright, so we're going to animate up to our haunted house and then preferably see our spooky light coming out of the window. Alright, and let's do that. You can do it on this file here. I don't think this has any animation. Okay, this has no animation. We could do it here. And we'll delete the light that is there. Okay, so you're gonna have to design a landscape, and of course I'll do a video on that. And your landscape is, you want to make sure you don't see the horizon line or the edge of your landscape. So you'll have to cleverly have it, like up on a hill that you navigate to, or in a canyon or something. Anyways, your light for your house. This isn't a finished house, but your light's going to be a spotlight, and you're going to bring that spotlight up. Looks like I have another light here. Let's get rid of that. You're going to bring that spotlight up. You're going to have a couple lights. You're going to have moonlight, and then you're going to have a spotlight. Let's turn it on while we're setting it up so we can get it in position. So to turn your light off, remember you just click on the check mark. So you can see how small my file is compared. You don't have to make things massively. When you start getting too big, you have a gamut that the computer will reach. Let me see if I can do that right now for you. It'll get so big that it starts to disappear. I'm kind of scaling it up. Let's see if I can get it to the point where it starts disappearing. Okay, see how it's weirdly, let's try to get it in view here. See how it's kind of weirdly disappearing like that, all weird. When you see that happening, you reach the capacity for whatever your graphics card or something to show you how the size of that. I mean, it's like your like galactic size. So let's undo all that. Put it back to normal. All right, so that's why I try to make things small. This is all relevant. Anyways, we're gonna take this, we're gonna flip it around. Let's do a 180. Let's go in that way. And then let's shrink that down. And it's not gonna be a round spotlight, it's going to be a square spot because your window is either square or rectangular. All right, so we're gonna move that up and we'll get it in the house. And you wanna get it approximately right behind your window. Oops, I overshot the runway there. Okay. This is a bit too long as well. We only want it like, you know, something like that. All right, so let's get that into the window. Now I have a rectangular window, and you know what? I don't have enough boards there. What happened to all my boards on this file? So when you do your boards, this, you know, like copy paste them, but like randomly, you know, like have them at different angles. Don't just use the same. I mean, you can use the same board, but don't. You know what I mean? Have it all like a copy of the board over and over again. It just looks really lame and sloppy when you do that. And then you don't want to board up the windows so much that no light can pass through it. So you got to have some, you know, some cracks and stuff like that. These boards are semi-sucky. Let's see if we can put them on the window too. Alright, so you want to board up your window. I've already done that in another video, but you remember your board, just remember your window has to be boarded up. Or if you have broken panes of glass and all that kind of stuff in there. Like I said, this isn't a finished house. I don't have any other windows on here. We're going to make that spotlight, let's go back to the light, not on the light. You're going to go to general and you might brighten it up a little bit. You might change the color a little bit. I don't personally think. I think a yellow light can be kind of welcoming and warming. A blue light could be too, you know, like stark, like an office cubicle type of thing. So I mean, you just have to fiddle with it. You know, maybe like slightly green light might look spooky, or slightly like blue light might look kind of cool. Let's go with the spooky green light. I can't see green because I'm colorblind, but I know that's green right there. I know it. Alright, under general, we're also going to put it on a square spot because that's what the window shape is. And then when you get that, you're going to kind of want to get it to fit your window. And so under coordinates, you can go to scale. And you can, you know, look at your axes, red, blue, or green, and determine which is X, Y, and Z. And then you can go to that letter, and like, let's say it looks like it could get reduced. Try to get it to fit as best I can. A little bit on the X. Sorry, the air conditioner's making noise. I was worried about it. That's why I paused. I was like, what is going on with my air conditioner? Alright, and then, so there's my width. And then we want to get the height. So you can, you know, stretch it out if you have a long, skinnier window. Mine's pretty square, so I guess I'll just mostly leave it alone. Alright, we need to make my light a little longer, like that. And then under general, we want to make it shadow soft. Although hard shadow can look good too. And then visible light, volumetric. And remember, when you do visible light, you have to go to visibility and change the inner outer distance. And you want your inner to always be like less than half of the outer. And then, take the time to test it. It's not working. Why? Because, wow, what did I do here? I must have stretched it out that far. It defaulted. When I made it a volumetric, it defaulted that way. So we're going to make sure we turn on the light. And there we go. Spooky green light. Let's zoom out a little bit. Might be too long. Probably is. Let's shrink it down. Alright, see, this is what happens when your inner outer distance are too close to each other. Looks like someone snipped it off over here. So these two numbers have to definitely be separate. So I'm going to bring the inner down to about half of the outer. And see how then it tapers off. Alright, lastly, this is new. We're going to go to noise. We're going to put noise on it. We'll put visibility. Actually, let's put both on there. And then you have like a noise that you can pick, like hard turbulence, soft turbulence. And then also my shadows are hard. So remember, I put it on ray trace hard. That's why the shadows are so crispy. And maybe you might want to try soft and see if there's a difference in those. All right. But anyways, back to noise. All right, noise is basically a fog, like a spooky fog, and you got to fiddle with it. I think in my case, I'm too small, so the particles are too big here. So I'm gonna reduce these down to like 25 each, and then see there we can kind of start seeing it a little bit. Let's go down to 5. All right, there I'm seeing the particles better. So you kind of want to get that. Those actually move around and look spooky and whatever. Remember, we're going to put a moonlight on your house. It's actually, I'm not doing the review now, but it's going to be a sun. And then on the sun, we have to go ahead and alter the color. There's this, I'm not remembering where it is now. There's a special way to do it. See how it doesn't change. So we have to go to, let me take that off. See if I can remember. Otherwise I'll have to go look it up. There we go. I remember. I'm not totally seeing it. All right, so we'll go to that. This is just a temporary one. I'll show you how to do a better one later. And so it's going to be nighttime with some moonlight. When you have moonlight in anime usually means a blue light or green light or a purple light to make it look nighttime. So you'll have to find a balance. But we're also going to do some other lights on this. So like I'm going to take and make another light here. And we want to have like fog around. We want several types of fog around the house. And this other light that we're going to do, besides the one in the window, we're going to give it a color. So I'll try to kind of match my moonlight a little bit. Then we're going to make it what's called an omni light, which is like omnidirectional, like omniscient, like God everywhere. Omnipresent would be it. And then omni means every direction or everywhere. So omni, and it's a big circular, like the sun is an omnidirectional light. The moon too. The moon's more or less reflecting light. It doesn't emit light. Anyway, so shadow soft, Visible light. We want it on visible this time. And that forms a giant sphere, which we don't need that big. We just need it around the house and reduce it. And it looks like this. Okay. And so that's why, you gotta make sure you fiddle with that. We might have to turn off illumination, maybe not. But we're gonna go to visibility, noise, my bad. And we're gonna put it on both visibility and illumination, so you can do one or the other. We're gonna do both. And then we're gonna go change it to hard turbulence. And we'll see, we're trying to get little poofs of fog to show up around the house. Okay, but we don't want all this shadow stuff on the ground. Let's see if turning off no illumination will help that. It did, but it also turned off the light, which is bad. So let's go ahead and see on this visible light. We'll take off shadows and we'll do just noise. And we'll see how that looks. And it's getting there. We're gonna have to, I might have to fiddle with that one and do it on a separate layer. Lecture. We might just not even do that one. We are going to do what's called an environmental object. I'll see about that other light. There's something I'm forgetting right now, but I'll remember later. Environmental light is you have environmental objects and you turn on enable fog. You don't want white fog. It's too like coastal, happy, like the kind of fog everybody likes. So you click on it and you can go match like a nighttime color, like I said, gray or dark gray or blue or purple, green, and then you have a distance. That's visibility. That's how they measure fog. When they do like a weather report, they'll say the visibility is 1,000 feet or whatever. So you just go ahead and render it, and obviously everything's so small here. 10,000 feet is way too much. So I'm gonna go just all the way. I'm going to go all the way down to 1,000 just as my guess. You'll have to figure out your own number depending on how you built everything. You see how it kind of like got washed out? So a little bit, 1,000's too much. 500. You want it till like things are kind of disappearing, but still visible. So you want to blur the details and the edges. This will cover up a lot of your flaws. You need to go to a darker blue for your textures and your modeling. Okay, and we're gonna have to work on this a little bit. I might have to even go darker. There we go, kind of getting there. All right. Almost there. Okay, well, I'll do the environment though on a different, when we do the landscape and go over that again, and I'll have to figure out the fog. And then also my sun isn't perfect. I got to do some stuff to that. But generally speaking, I just wanted to throw the other lighting elements in here for this review just because I didn't have it on there and it kind of all comes into play. And when you want to have nighttime, and you're going to do that with lighting and fog, and this, you can see the fog here, and you're going to do that with the color that you use for your fog, so you can kind of get an idea with these files of what you're going for. Everybody does it slightly different, So anyways, that is the review of your spooky light. I believe I did the gate already. And if you want to, I wouldn't add any other lights, but some people like to add like a little lantern light, because I did a lantern. And if you're gonna do a spooky lantern, I should do that. You're gonna do whatever color the light is, probably yellow, but you know, you could also go with spooky colors too, like green or, you know, blue, purple, whatever. And you might want to take and do a couple of lights like we did for your explosion. For instance, I could go to Shadow Map Soft, Volumetric, and then go to Visibility and make the inner distance half the outer. I want to stretch it out a little bit more so the light gets stretched, and then when it hits those areas, it'll, you know, create like an interesting shadow. And you can also change this, like it's really round, so I could go to the coordinates of the light, and it's a perfect circle because of the XYZ being on 111 right there in the middle. So the light has a shape, and you can shape this up too. So I could go to my Y and like reduce it down more of an oval, but it thought it was, you know, shining out like a little bit too much. I could reduce it and like customize the shape of the light to fit the lamp a little. Whoops, I didn't mean to click off that, sorry. Change the shape of the lamp, but also the lamp needs a brighter light in the middle, right? You know, so I would get like a little light and make that like a similar color, maybe up the for a second light, up the brightness, and then make it a visible, no shadow, make it a visible light. So this would be like the flame, you know, or you wouldn't have a light bulb, it'd be like candle or gas light or something. And put it in the middle there so you have like two lights, and take off illumination like that. So if you made the lantern then that would be a good type of light to put in your lantern. Put that on the porch or wherever. So lighting is going to be crucial. Lighting is really, really important to set mood. You can make something look like a sunset, a sunrise, a demonic, a horror story, a ghost, an alien abduction, happy, spooky, sad, depressed. You can really affect mood and emotion of whoever's viewing your stuff. And the same tricks that apply in live action that they apply in kind of like 3D. 3D, you have a little bit more license to kind of play with it. If you want to remember all about the mood, consider the mood, look at it. Does it look spooky to you, or does it look inviting and welcoming and warming? Like I want to get out of the cold and go into that house, rather than like I'm in the cold night in the middle of the forest. There's no way in hell I'm going in that house. You know, so those are the things you gotta like think about as you model the stuff. And lighting is really important for all that, which we'll cover more in class. Okay, so see you in class. Bye.